Man, that was a good direct. Yup, the long-rumoured Super Mario 3D All-Stars was finally revealed to be real, and it is indeed coming with Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. There was, of course, a whole bunch of other awesome stuff announced in Nintendo's Super Mario 35th Anniversary Direct, including a Switch port of the excellent Super Mario 3D World, but rather than go through the whole thing bit by bit, I thought I would hone in on that All-Stars collection for this video. Greetings everyone, my name's Phil, welcome to Nintendo Village. I am going to dig into everything we know about the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection, and let you know why you should be hyped about it, and why you should maybe temper those expectations a little bit in some areas. Thanks for tuning in, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and a big welcome back to all you regulars. And so without further ado, let's get into it. So yes, the worst kept secret in all of Nintendo-dom is finally officially out of the bag, and we are getting a trio of Mario titles on the Switch in the form of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. It's also out in like 2 weeks, which is just a little bit crazy, especially considering that they announced Pikmin 3 a month earlier, but it's coming out a month later. It's weird. I just wish we got more notice so I could plan out buying these things without bankrupting myself. Still, it's coming and it's a cracking collection. Some of you younger viewers may have missed out on Mario 64 the first time around, or have perhaps only played the slightly weird DS version. If that's the case, you should definitely add this collection to your library, as Super Mario 64 was a revolutionary game when it released way back in 1996, and despite showing its age in some areas, is still a fun playthrough today thanks to fantastic gameplay and excellent level design. The thing that's aged the most if you go back to the N64 version is the camera control. Impressive 24 years ago. Has it really been that long? It nevertheless is a bit fiddly and a little bit of a pain by today's standards. Now, whilst Nintendo's press release did say that all three of these games have been optimised for Switch, there wasn't anything within the trailer that suggested we'll be getting a free camera in this remaster. These shots all look like it's still pretty fixed. I could be wrong of course, but that seems to be the case. It's also worth noting that whilst Mario 64 is getting a bump in resolution, it's not getting quite the same treatment as the other two. Over on Twitter, industry insider Push Dustin revealed that Super Mario 64 will be in a 960 by 720 resolution in both handheld and docked. This also clears up a little confusion about what scale the game will be in. Although the Direct was a little ambiguous in the way it went about it, this does confirm that only Sunshine and Galaxy will be in a 16:9 ratio, with Super Mario 64 remaining in its original 4:3. It also seems to be based on the Shindu edition of the game. For the uninitiated, the original Japanese release had a few bugs and things and also lacked rumble support. Rumble was added in for a Japanese re-release near the end of the N64's life, and this is known as the Shindu version. The reason why the Switch release seems to be based on that version of the game is due to this. Bye-bye! Mario famously shouted, "So long, King Bowser!" in the original Western releases, but this was changed to "bye bye" for the Shindu version, as Mario's nemesis is still known as King Koopa in Japan. It also means that the backwards long jump is unlikely to be possible in this new version of the game. Sorry speedrunners. As for Super Mario Sunshine, I'm just so glad there's a way to play this game again. It's kind of the black sheep of the 3D Mario family, less iconic than Super Mario 64 and less revered than the Galaxy games. Still, it's an awesome platformer and one of the most inventive games not only in Mario's history, but arguably the whole genre if you ask me. Up till now, you'd have to shell a rather extortionate amount of money for a Gamecube copy of the game, and that was the only way you could play it. Being able to revisit Delfino Island in full widescreen 1080p is the thing I'm most excited about for this collection. I remember mowing our lawn practically every day for a month to save up enough pocket money to buy this back in the day. Our lawn was practically non-existent by the time the game came out. One thing to know, if you have a Gamecube adapter and Gamecube controller and were hoping to use that to play Sunshine, I've got some bad news for you. According to the Japanese website, the game does not have Gamecube controller support. Now it's not clear if this means you won't be able to use it at all, or if it will just have limited functionality, but it is a bit of a bummer. The Switch recognises some third-party Gamecube controllers as Pro controllers though, so you might be alright with one of those. It's worth noting though that the Switch and these controllers don't have analog triggers, and I'm sure there were some puzzles and things that needed you to only use the FLUDD gently, so I'm interested to see how they'll work. I could be wrong on that one, it has been 18 years since I played the game. Lastly, Super Mario Galaxy. This actually looked the most impressive to me, and I've got a sneaking suspicion it may be based on the HD version of the game that launched on Nvidia's Shield system in China. When that version of the game came out, Digital Foundry did some digging and discovered that the emulation used in that case boosted the resolution to 1920 by 1404 before downscaling to fit the widescreen display output. It also added new images for things like Mario Starbit Counter and so on. Maybe it's just me, but this definitely looked like the biggest jump visually. Also, if you are wondering how you're going to play the game in handheld mode, the pointer controls have been mapped to the touchscreen. That sounds incredibly awkward to use, but there you go. According to Nintendo, Switch Lite owners will also need a second pair of Joy-Con to play the game, given its reliance on motion controls. That's a bit of a bummer, but not the biggest one. No, the main drawback to this collection, and perhaps one of the most baffling, is that it's only available for a limited time. Launching on September 18th with a limited physical run, Nintendo will also be pulling it from the eShop at the end of March 2021. This seems bizarre, and Nintendo are seemingly willingly leaving money on the table by yanking the game from sale in 6 months' time. Now, either they desperately need to rack up sales for the second half of their financial year, which of course ends in March, or they're genuinely just releasing this as purely an anniversary thing. By which I mean they weren't making the game anyway and decided to release it around Mario's anniversary, but rather knew the anniversary was coming up and decided that this was a thing they could do for it. I'm not entirely sure that's the case, but it's an interesting thought. There are a ton of anniversaries coming up next year, and the idea that Nintendo are maybe taking them a bit more seriously, having overlooked some in the past, is definitely exciting. Most notably, 2021 is Zelda's 35th anniversary, so here's hoping for a HD Hero of Time collection. Thanks very much. Anyway, that about wraps it up for this video. Do let me know down in the comments how excited or not you are for this collection. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give that like button a tickle, and do consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date with all of our weekly uploads. Don't forget to check out thenintendovillage.com for more Nintendo news, reviews, features, podcasts and all that cool stuff. Thank you very much for watching, I'll catch you all next time.